That we are in a tie match at the top. Double gen pop to avoid the deadlock. They do go down. There is a haste status effect. They do have to be careful here. The hatch is going to spawn momentarily. Deadhard could get them the distance to get it too. Shot.
Really smart play on the ace. Oh my god, getting shot through the window.
No longer have distortion, and they are gonna teleport here. I think they get there in time. Yes!
Oh, the grab! Yes! That is disappointing.
This is be a 4-man out because.
Yeah, but they will be able to block this. Yo, getting caught on that. Ace coming with the body block. Oh, they were here.
Hey, what is up, guys? It's Giltspire here, and welcome back to Champions of the Fog. We are back once again. This time, though, we are here with Group A, Round 2, Ruby Wolves versus Eternal, and we are going to be kicking things off strong with Ruby Wolves Spirit on the game. So this is going to be very interesting indeed as we see Dan on the Spirit. And we are going to be able to see what they have in store for us today, as I am noticing a bit of an interesting add-on there, one which I do not recognize off the top of my head. So it'll be interesting to see what value we get out of that. We will note that we do see the Claudette here at the God Palette. God Palette going down. Spirit trying to identify where the survivors are. Gets the hit on the ace. Zaka. Very nicely done. Clean hit right there at the start of the match. Vaulting the God Palette, however. So Spirit will be losing a little bit of pressure here as their phase walk does recharge. However, Ace not out of the woods just yet, though looks like Spirit might be dropping chase here. No, Spirit still on the trail of the Ace. This time, though, going to the CCTV room. And honestly, I'm not sure if this is the right play for the Spirit to be committing to this chase. Ace has a lot of resources available to them up here. Phase walking. Ace on the back foot, going to the pallet, trying to get there as soon as possible, but unable to do so. Ace going down, unable to make it happen, as Spirit here will get the first hook of their match thus far. Really fast down, honestly, in the grand scheme of things, so amazing job by the Spirit. They are going to be looking around, trying to find where these survivors are at, but no one is to be seen thus far. So far, Spirit unable to identify what generators are being worked on so far. I imagine we are going to see a gen, if not two, pop off here in just a moment. Though a phase walk going back to the hook, it would seem. And no sign of the survivors. Ace with 30 seconds left on their first hook before they move to second stage. First gen completed in distance, however, Spirit does have deadlock, as we do see the most progressed gen locked down by the entity there in the distance. We also see two survivors starting to approach this unhook. Spirit, though, going in for the body block. We see one, we see two, though Ace moves to second stage. Nia now injured. Spirit in a great position here to really slow down this match. However, Adam Nightlight getting the stun and unhook together, as well as a for the people to ensure Ace is a bit more difficult to get tunneled out. Amazing job there by Eternal. Ace, though, not out of the woods just yet. Spirit sees blood in the water, and they want this survivor out of the game now. Ace trying their best to avoid the Spirit. Spirit, though, with some keen ears indeed, as they're able to identify where the Ace was. Ace with the vault. The revault. Spirit getting a bit tripped up here as they are on the railing. Ace, though, not really giving them any ground to work with. Keep in mind, Nightlight still broken from the For the People. Though not that it will matter much here if the Spirit is not able to get the down. However, they do get the down. We do see a shadow there from the Claudette, who will get the pallet stun on the Spirit, saving the Ace once again from their dire fates. Ace, though, going back down just as quickly. Spirit this time trying to be a little bit more careful, and they will not be able to get away. I was thinking Spirit might be able to swing out there in time in order to avoid the pallet stun. However, it will not happen. Ace standing at the pallet trying to waste the Spirit's time as much as possible. This tile here, though, a little bit weaker as this gen has been completed. Ace saying, come get me. Do you want to get pallet stun for a third time? There's the locker. But sounds like the Survivor will get the pallet stun again. The Spirit had so much going for them here, and now it is slipping through their hands just as quickly. Looks like Nightlight coming back in once again for a For the People play. Ace fully healthy and Nightlight taking the fresh hook in their stead. I mean, honestly, amazing job by these Survivors, really just keeping this Spirit on their toes, utilizing the pallets to their best advantage, as we do see them still working on gens bit by bit. We will note that this generator here will be highlighted in yellow. Could be a Colubrine, could be a Eruption. Only time will tell. Spirit, though, going back for the unhook this time. They will be chasing Nightlight, who has yet to go to second stage. BT still in effect, 10 seconds has yet to pass. So Nightlight moving into the Deep Boon status effect instead of going down, as they'll be moving themselves down to the bottom floor of this area. Ace, though, kind of out of position, getting caught out there by the Spirit, unable to do much, though. Spirit will instead go back to the gen here. Do want to note that Survivors are keenly aware that this is Overcharge and Eruption, as Overcharge Colubrine is a banned combo. Claudette trying to get back in to get the gen completed. Nia here as well. Spirit deciding to go for some spread pressure here, as Nia will vault, taking the hit from the Spirit. 3 Survivors injured. Ace, the only one yet to be found since they had been healed from For the People. Nia, though, at the pallet, playing very conservatively here. Spirit taking a look at the gen, seeing who might be there. Claudette getting healed. I don't remember what tool she had in hand. If it was a medkit, that would have been a self-heal. Otherwise, they might be grouping up for a bit of a reset here. However, we will see Nia here out in the open with not much to work with. Spirit choosing not to phase walk, though, as they do find the Ace as well. Firecracker will deactivate the Haunting. Little known fact about that, Blind Spirit will deactivate their power there, and Nia getting a little bit of distance for that too. Spirit with a short phase walk trying to get the Nia, and I do believe the pallet is down here. Nia with a bit of a dodge. However, we will see double Eruption across the map. 2 Survivors incapacitated for 25 seconds apiece, as well as 10% regression across both generators. So really good play there by the Spirit, kicking those gens, getting that regression in, getting those chases done and dusted. We will see the Spirit going back to this gen. There is the Claudette. She does indeed have the medkit and could potentially have a total of 2 charges available to her. Spirit, though, looking just get the pallet out of the way, going back to the gen now to Erupt and Overcharge it. Survivors should be keenly aware of all 4 perks at this point in time. In case you, the viewers, are not, it is Eruption, Overcharge, Deadlock, and Corrupt Intervention. And it does appear that the Claudette getting a lot of distance here, though the Spirit will phase walk here. Though instead of going for the Claudette, will instead hit the gen here that the Ace was working on. Trying to take a look and see what their options are. Things are looking a bit grim as these survivors are making a lot of work for the Spirit. Keep in mind, the pallet here is still up. Spirit being a 110 killer really isn't able to play this all too easily. Claudette threatening the heal with the med kit over the pallet. She is not messing around, and neither is Spirit, as they will phase walk, trying to mind game, going back and forth, and Claudette standing their ground. Spirit, though, with the hit, will get the down. However, it looks like the gen that was hit by Eruption was blocked by the entity blockers. I honestly forget the interaction between Deadlock and Eruption, so I'm not sure if we actually will see the gen regressing at all. At the very least, the score event did not pop, meaning that as far as the game is aware, the gen did not get regressed by 10% off of the Eruption. Survivors, though, with the insta unhook, do keep in mind that we now have a fresh hook on the Claudette, Nightlight, and 2 hooks on the Ace. Only one who is still fresh is the Nia, possibly something that the Spirit might want to keep in mind as we do move. But looks like Royalty will be going down the hole as the Spirit decided to wait out BT. Adam, though, out of nowhere, trying for the flashlight save, will not get the blind. Amazing attempt there by the Adam, just was not able to make it work. These survivors playing very aggressively on these pickups, to say the least. And looks like Spirit will be going back to this gen. Ace with a bit of a sprint burst there in hand. And he will be off to the races. Survivors, though, are going to be kind of trying to hide this out. Ace, once again, just trying their best to get this gen completed. Spirit, though, unfazed by the Ace, will get the hit. Keep in mind, Ace is on Death Hook, not exactly a chase they want to be taking, but it is the only chase they currently have, as they did see Nia earlier. Ace, though, still there on the other side of pallet. Spirit potentially dropping chase now. No, just getting a bit of a mind game. And the survivors are on exit gates as we speak. Ace may be able to get out. He is moving towards the exit gate. One is open. Looks like this one over here has not been worked on so far, as Ace goes to the CCTV room, trying to make the best of the resources available to them, as Zaka will go down over the pallet. That there will be probably the last chase of this match, unless Adam comes in with a cheeky flashlight save. Does not appear to be the case, and that there will be the end of set number 1 of match number, or it's not set number 1, trial number 1 of set number 1 of Ruby Wolves versus Eternal. But with that being said, GG, well played on both sides, and we are now going to be setting up for the switch. This time, we'll be seeing Eternal Spirit against Ruby Wolves Survivor Team. Will still be on the game. And with that being said, we are going to go for a quick little break. Before we do, we want to remind everyone here today that you, yes, you the viewers, are our sponsors. So all the ads they watch, all the bits they tip, all the subs they buy, and all the Rogue Energy buy using the code COTF will go to supporting Champs of the Fog, and the $525 prize pool for Group A and $250 prize pool for Group B. With that being said, we'll be back in just a bit. All right, and we are back. This time, we are going to be seeing Eternal's Spirit versus Ruby Wolves Survivor Team. For those just joining us today, this week is Indoor Week, so we are going to be joining in the game. Set number 2, for those interested, will be on RPD East Wing. But without further ado, we are jumping right on in and seeing Bubbo piloting the Spirits. And we do see a corrupt intervention blocking the gens for a total of 2 minutes, or until the first chase results in a down. We did see Survivor go downstairs, and we see a totem here as well. Interesting indeed. Could be Ruin or Devour Hope. If, in instance, the survivors have touched gens, they will know full well. Ace taking a hit. Once again, fun enough, Ace being the first survivor to take chase in both this trial and the last. Ace, though, trying their best to make a little bit of distance. We do see the pallet going down. Spirit trying to go for the mind game. Unable to do it, though, however, as Ace will hold their ground. Amazing job here by Ace, however, in a little bit of a pickle, as they do not have a lot in the way of resources here in this corner. Their only resource, that one pallet, is now down for the count. Ace trying their best to avoid the Spirit, unable to do so, however, resulting in the first down in the match and deactivation of Corrupt Intervention. So far, only one perk known to these survivors, and it does appear that a survivor nearby trying to work on this gen will evade the Spirit. We will note that this generator will be highlighted in yellow, so that there is either Call of Brine or Eruption. Spirit taking a look, keeping an eye out for their totem there in the distance, and we will hear a make your choice that they're resulting in the Atom, who we heard scream there, being exposed, I believe, for 60 seconds. No scratch marks whatsoever suggesting where the Atom went. Spirit trying desperately to get a read on where they may have gone. Taking a look back here where the Ace was earlier, and even going to find them there in the corner as Dan will go down. First gen popping off. They will know that there is no deadlock, as there are no gens blocked by entity blockers. Second hook here for the Spirit, and with no pop of that gen, there is no Eruption. Instead, a Call of Brine, regressing that gen at 200% speed for the next 60 seconds. Call of Brine being deactivated, though, as that gen will no longer be highlighted in yellow. Survivor at the pallet, and the Spirit will get the hit on the injured Ace. Really amazing job here by the Spirit, applying a ton of pressure on these survivors. We do see scratch marks going back to the hook as we speak. Make your choice is off a cooldown, and Ace will get picked up as we hear the Lori afflicted by the exposed status effect, and Ada just unfortunately a little bit too late in order to get that pallet stun. Really difficult situation here for the survivors, as this Spirit is applying a ton of pressure, and you keen-eyed viewers might have just noticed the haste status effect being in play as the Spirit walked away from the hook. That there meaning there is a devoured hope. We do see a 40 people from the Ada on the Ace trying to avoid a short chase. However, these survivors unaware of the horrors that they are about to see, as this Spirit will be able to get an insta-down here at this pallet if Ace does not play right. And there it is. Survivors now keenly aware of the existence of Devour Hope, this being the fourth potential hook here on these survivors, meaning that Devour is one away from a Mori. However, you know, me just casually forgetting that Ace was on Death Hook. So Ace now instead going back to the campfire. Ada getting found out here. Devour Hope will get cleansed. However, Ada will go down nonetheless, being injured from For the People. No survivors in sight. Keep in mind, there still is the existence of Make Your Choice, a very, very difficult perk for these survivors to be working around. However, Call of Brine will be applied to that gen, regressing at 200% per second. Make Your Choice now active based on a distance away from the hook. The survivors need to be very careful here, as we do see one survivor crouching there at the tile. Lori being afflicted by the exposed status effect. However, Spirit opting not to chase the Lori, instead going for the Adam here. Spirit, though, break and chase now, will be trying to track down the Lori. Adam, though, getting caught out in the middle of nowhere, will take a hit as they are pushed back down into the bottom floor of the game. The gen over here, which had some progression prior, now still regressing at 200% from Call of Brine for only another 15 seconds. These survivors need to do something quick if they are to do much of anything. Spirit, knowing full well where the Adam was, will get the hit without hesitation. And I get a feeling the Adam will be going down to the basement. And this is a fantastic spot for the Spirit to be, as Make Your Choice will make it near impossible for their savior to escape unscathed. Spirit going up for a bit of a phase walk. Do keep in mind, these survivors are keenly aware of all 4 perks that the Spirit has, and for those who just joined us, that there would be Make Your Choice, Call of Brine, Devour Hope, and Corrupt Intervention. At this point in time, though, the Spirit really a 2-perk killer, as both Devo and Corrupt no longer active. We did, however, see scratch marks going towards the unhook in basement. Spirit, though, opting to potentially camp this out to death, as they are wanting to get these survivors out of the game. 2 pallets still up here. Survivors could try and pull something. However, time slipping away as the Adam only has 15 more seconds before they are dead on hook. Survivors, though, wasting no time, as another gen will be completed. And looks like Spirit going for a phase walk, assuming that the survivors are nowhere in sight. And sure enough, Adam will be sent back to the campfire via the entity. Gen over here, once again, with a little bit of progression. However, Call of Brine will bring that down to 0 pretty quickly. 2 survivors left in the game, 2 generators left to complete. Do we think a survivor will be able to escape the wrath of Bubbo, the one piloting the Spirit here? A little bit of progression on this gen, but once again, no sign of the survivors. Multiple gens now covered by Call of Brine, as they'll have some information available to them the next time a survivor completes a skill check. Spirit going for a phase walk. Once again, hearing some progression on this generator, but once again, seeing no survivors. No sign of them on the gens. No noise notifications from Call of Brine. The Spirit really just trying to dig deep and find them as quickly as possible. But 3 out of the 4 generators currently covered by Call of Brine. Things will be quite difficult. We do see Ada, though. Spirit, though, once again, opting to kick the gen instead of going for the chase. Ada, looks like they will be camping out this pallet here. Spirit going for the phase walk. Doing a little bit of mind gaming there. And looks like Ada just holding strong, as the Spirit will take a chance hitting the pallet instead. And we will see Call of Brine activating over there in the distance, meaning that survivors are once again trying to complete these generators. Ada at the pallet going for a bit of a chase, dropping another 2. Can the Ada be in chase long enough for the Lori to complete another generator? And will it even matter for the match results? Right now it is 31-20 in favor of Eternal. That is unfortunately a unwinnable situation for Ruby Wolves, though points still matter in the long run in the case of a tiebreaker for semifinals and finals. So Ruby Wolves doing their best to try and crank out these gens for just a few extra points. However, drop and chase of Ada means that she's able to heal with that medkit. Spirit desperate enough to start checking lockers, finding no one so far. 3 out of 4 lockers currently checked. And no sign of the Lori. Debating whether or not now it was a mistake to drop chase with the Ada. And once again, Jen's being worked on slowly but surely, trying to ensure the Spirit is unable to find them in any situation. However, Ada once again being caught out. Spirit at the pallet without phase walk, trying to take their time so they can get this hit on the Ada. Ada once again trying to fake out the Spirit, will successfully do so on the double back. Amazing job there by Ada as she'll drop another pallet. Spirit trying to get the mind game, will successfully get to the other side. However, Ada, knowing full well where they're at, will end up dodging. And we do now see scratch marks of the Lori here down in the lower sections of the game. Lori going to the meat locker and will go for the slow fall on the double back. However, taking it at the window, it is up to Ada now to start working on generators. And looks like Spirit will be committing to chase this time around. And Lori getting cut off a little bit here. However, 2 pallets for her to work with. There's one. And the vault being just a tad too late, as Lori will end up going down. However, Spirit opting to go for the slug for the 4K. Will try and pressure these gens once again. Ada jumping down to the vault. And Spirit thinking that they're going to double back. Not doing so, though. Keep in mind, we have yet to see a Unbreakable in play. So it is still within the cards that the Lori will get up on their own. Ada, though, now in what could be the final chase of this match, will be going to the meat chute. Spirit phase walking. Will they be able to get there in time before they are able to drop down to the meat chute? They will. Securing the 4th and final down on these survivors. Now, we also have yet to see a deliverance, and I am not certain of the hook states of these survivors. So it is possible that we might see a deliverance on either the Lori or the Ada, as one of them is, in fact, fresh hook. Ada, already being on hook once, will not get their chance of a deliverance if they have it in hand. As far as Lori is concerned, still is a possibility, though Spirit now having to find where the Lori has gone. Them being fresh could actually be impactful, as if they do bleed out, it will lose the killer a total of 3 points. Not enough for them to really matter. However, Lori will be found, and that there will be the final hook of this set. Eternal will be taking set number 1. Ruby Wolves down just a few too many points. And with that being said, GG, well played to both sides. And we are going to be moving to set number 2 on RPD East Wing, where we are going to be seeing Eternal Cenobite versus Ruby Wolves Cenobite. Once again, a little bit of a mirror match. So this will be quite exciting. We have yet to see a lot of Cenobite in Season 5. We saw some good play, I believe, last week on RPD as well. So it'll be exciting to see Cenobite once again. With that being said, we are going to go for a quick break. As a reminder, though, we are partnered with Pugdom. Pugdom is a Dead by Daylight community just like COTF, who runs their own events and tournaments. They're actually hosting the second half of Group B over on Pugdom. So if you haven't already, make sure to stop on by, say hi, drop a follow, so you can catch those matches there. With that being said, we'll be back in just a bit. All right, and we are back. Thank you all for bearing with us as we had some technical issues on the side of Survivors, but everything should be up and good to go now. With that being said, we are going to be seeing Eternal's Cenobite against Ruby Will's Survivor team, this time on RPD East Wing. It'll be very exciting to see to what the Cenobite can do. Honestly, in my opinion, a little bit of a unique choice on RPD, as the Cenobite will not really get a lot of usage out of their chain hunt, at least in my opinion. However, I could be misspeaking here, and maybe Zaka the Cenobite will be cracked out of their mind, as they will find multiple survivors here trying to go for the chain, barely missing there in the courtyard. Instead of chasing right behind them, will be trying to go for the cutoff here, as they will be going in front of the survivors, hearing some footsteps, and looks like they will not double back. Instead, move into the upstairs with the burning helicopter, and survivors just holding W for dear life. Cenobite unable to really see them so far. Finding the lorry, though, halfway through chain hunt. Survivors will have to go for the box soon, lest they are slowed down by the possessed chains. Lorry getting hit by chain hunt there. Cenobite breaking one of the chains, activating their add-on. Lorry, though, will barely make the vault in time. Going back upstairs, knowing full well the pallet's still there in hand. However, getting hit by the possessed chain. We do see Claudette on the box as we speak. Cenobite not caring for it, will continue chase on the lorry, as Corrupt Intervention is just about 66% through of its timer. Cenobite, though, looking to drop chase, as things have gone on for a little bit too long, and instead now finding what looks to be the Claudette, who once again will be hit by the possessed chains. This time, though, I think Zarina will get hit, and that there will be the first entry, as survivors will be keenly aware of the existence of Sloppy Butcher. Zarina at the God tile will end up dropping, trying to make a little bit of distance here. Not want to be the first down of this match. Cenobite on point with these possessed chains will get another hit. However, it would look like the wire hooks not really, or rather the impaling wire, not really getting a lot of value here, as survivors will complete their first generator, which will reveal to them Deadlock. Another beautiful chain, possessed chain, this time revealing the second add-on, the original Sin, which will push survivors into the deep wound status effect in the instance they're already injured. Between Sloppy Butcher and the deep wound, Cenobite here could drop chase with the Zarina, but once again opting not to, missing the possessed chain. Zarina getting a second chance here, as they will move into the safety deposit room. Cenobite with the possessed chain. However, Zarina will be able to drop the pallet and break the chains in time. Cenobite trying to get a bit of a mind game here, and will successfully get it. Second generator popping off. Deadlock blocking the generator from the Cenobite. Currently, survivors aware of 3 out of the 4 perks in Cenobite's hands: Deadlock, Sloppy Butcher, and Corrupt Intervention. Cenobite trying to get a line of sight here to use the possessed chain to slow down that gen in the main building. However, just unable to do so there, as Cenobite will take a quick look and recall their possessed chain. We'll note this generator here will not be highlighted in yellow, so no Call of Brine, no Eruption, could still be an overcharge. However, survivors still unaware of this 4th perk, and we will see a Nia there with the medkit in hand, moving towards the room here. However, Cenobite losing a little bit of distance on them, as Nia will move to the media room. Cenobite with another beautiful possessed chain. Nia, though, unable to drop the pallet, it would seem. The possessed chain's just enough to block them, though Cenobite unable to get another possessed chain down for the hit. Nia playing very aggressively at this pallet. Cenobite missing with the possessed chain. There's the vault and the life to boot. However, we will see the survivor on hook. The Zarina move to second stage as the Nia will vault for distance. However, taking the possessed chain will take an injury here as well. Survivors prioritizing gens through and through as we will see the unhook on the Zarina. However, they are that much closer to going back to the campfire via the entity. Nia this time trying to use this pallet, getting a little bit caught out by the Cenobite, will take the down. Lori grabbing the box just in time before Chain Hunt activated too. And looks like they will not be able to get the solve in time, meaning that the Cenobite now has the opportunity to teleport into a chase if the Lori were to attempt to complete it. Not to mention, the Cenobite could use the possessed chain. However, they are in the courtyard and in a world of hurt, as that chase will result in a very, very quick hit on the Lori. Lori trying their best to move to the police desk. Not able to get a pallet drop there. However, Cenobite trying their best to fake out the pallet, not taking the stun. However, Lori playing a little bit more aggressively. Cenobite now missing the possessed chain. Lori here just holding their ground. Cenobite, though, will end up getting the hit, and that there will be the fourth hook of this match. Really amazing job from both sides here. Really enjoying the back and forth from the Cenobite and their possessed chains, as well as these survivors really extending chases very, very well. Everyone healed at this point in time. Another generator completed. Only one gen left. However, this here is the Zarina now in chase. She is currently on death hook and will end up taking a hit here, even with a potential balanced landing. 3 survivors currently away from gens. That there is the Claudette. We saw the Nia with the box and the Zarina pretty far away. Though looks like the Cenobite will be opting to go for some fresh hooks here. This time on the Claudette, who will try and make a bit of distance here, though the possessed chain will take effect, slowing things down just a tad. The Impaling Wire doing an amazing job spawning chain after chain after chain. Claudette in a bit of a pickle, to say the least, though making a bit of distance as they will move to the back rooms. And looks like Claudette will take another possessed chain, moving them into the deep twin status effects. God Pallet going down, Cenobite unable to get past. Claudette with a very good chase here, extending things just a bit longer than I imagine the Cenobite would like. Keep in mind, looks like the Claudette did have a bit of a lucky break. Unfortunately, can't say the same for the Nia, who will go down with Noed out of nowhere as that last generator is completed. Survivors being keenly aware of this last perk, I imagine will try and escape as soon as possible. However, I do not think they have a lot of time on this exit gate. Only 2 lights and scratch marks. The Cenobite trying to cut them off at the courtyard. We will see the Nia unhooked, and we will see no scratch marks going back. That appears to be the Zarina. Honestly, probably the best find here that the survivors could hope for. Cenobite knowing that full well, opting to drop chase as they want someone with a bit more hook states to give. Finding the Nia now, though, same situation as the Zarina prior, both on death hook. Only 1 point to give from each. Not to mention these survivors being bold enough to even cleanse Noed. Survivors doing a bang-up job here. We do hear the exit gate open. A survivor, the Lori here, will get out. And I think that there will be a 4-man out from Ruby Wolves against Eternal's survivor team. Amazing job there by both sides. An amazing job by the survivors playing around the Cenobite to a T. With that being said, GG, well played to both sides. And we are going to be switching sides now, seeing Ruby Wolves Cenobite versus Eternal Survivor team. But before we do that, we are going to take a quick break. As always, you, yes, you the viewers, are our sponsors. So that as they watch all the bits that I tip, all the subs that you buy, and all the Rogue Energy you buy using the code COTF will go to supporting Champions of the Fog and Group A's $525 prize pool and Group B's $250 prize pool. With that being said, we'll be back in just a bit. All right, and we are back. Thank y'all for bearing with us there as we had a little bit of some stuff to take care of on the back end. So appreciate us bearing with us, but we are seeing Dan against Eternal's Survivor team finding a very early chase here on the ace. Cenobite not using their possession chains as aggressively as we saw before. Cenobite trying to play carefully here not to take the pallet stun. Will get the hit on the ace, however, very early on. Only 33% of Corrupt Invention has since passed. Another possess chain and very similar add-ons to what we saw before with the Impaling Wire as well as the Original Sin. We will see Zaka be put into the Deep Wound status effect from the Original Sin there, as well as a Firecracker for a little bit of blinding. However, Zaka making a bit of good distance here as we will see another possession chain come down the hallway. Original Sin and Impaling Wire trying to get a little bit more value, and we will see Zaka go down with the reverse pallet stun. Great news too is that we will see a bit of basement action here. Before we saw the hook right there at the top of the stairs. This time though, we will see Zaka getting one of the special hooks, and Corrupt Invention has since ended. For those of you paying close attention on some of these pallet breaks, though, you may have noticed that the pallets did break just a wee bit faster, that there being brutal strength. On top of which, we will see the entity blocking a gen there in the distance, that there being a deadlock in play. 3 out of 4 perks now revealed to these survivors, being Deadlock, Brutal, and Corrupt Invention. 4th perk yet to be seen, though it looks like Dan opting to block off basement with only 30 more seconds to go before Ace will move to second stage. This is a all or nothing attempt here to try and get as many points as possible. Finding the Claudette in library and slowing that gen down just a bit. Beautiful possess chain. I imagine the Claudette was not expecting that. Ace, though, about to move to second stage in just a few more seconds, pushing them that much closer to being sent back to the campfire via the entity. Claudette once again taking the possess chain, and that there will be the progression to second stage that they need. Though, hold up. Looks like Cenobite here gonna actually try and go for the full camp out. And interestingly enough, looks like we will see Nightlight in the distance with the box. However, Dan unfazed, knowing full well what their win condition is here. Keep in mind, Ruby Wolves currently up 20-15 against Eternal. And looks like the timer still ticking down. No kinship. And Cenobite just doing a little bit of a tap-it dance for us right now, as we will see another deadlock there in the distance, slowing things down by 30 seconds. Looks like then, thinking that the survivors will not go for the unhook, will drop their camp here, as Zaka will be sent back to the campfire via the entity via a full 2-minute camp out. That Ilbar confirming the existence of brutal strength to these survivors and all you viewers here. And now looks like Dan just trying to go for the 2K here, as we will see another gen blocked via the entity blockers. Could be a 99 gen. However, Nia will get caught out. And looks like they will be going for the vault here. The possess chain trying to block them off. Unable to get it effectively, though. And looks like we're just going to be looping around here, as they will miss the possess chain on the Nia. Cenobite going for the vault, trying to make a little bit of distance. Though it looks like Nia will go for the vault here. And Nia will continue to be in chase. Nia taking a possess chain. Cenobite trying to go for that, will go for the swing and get it too. Nia has to be very careful here, as the Cenobite might end up getting this down before the last gen is completed. If that were to happen, Cenobite will be in a prime position to take set number 2 in favor of Ruby Wolves. Nia, though, going for the pallet drop. Cenobite with the possess chains, going for a little bit of mind game here, Nia will not fall for it, though. And once again, will be getting some possessed chains, this time a bit deeper in to the tile. Impaling Wire getting a little bit of value here as Nia was breaking the chains via the environment. We'll instead see a chase here from the Atom. Looks like a balanced landing, getting them a little bit of free distance, as well as a pallet drop to boot. Atom, though, trying their best to keep the Cenobite busy for just a little while longer as these survivors working on the gens. Claudette with the body block. Atom with the possessed chains. There's the Impaling Wire on the Claudette, getting the body block they were looking for. And looks like Cenobite will end up dropping chase, going for the Claudette this time around. I'm afraid for these survivors that it won't mean much, though. Adrenaline getting some good distance. Possessed chains getting the hit, and we see a haste status effect to boot. Impaling Wire getting chains left and right, and that there will be the 2K if they were to camp it out. However, Cenobite opting to drop the chase, instead going for another survivor. Need to look at the scorecard here, see if a 2K would secure the win. And it will. A 2K will be pretty close here, as there was one fresh hook across 3 survivors. Second stage across 2. It's either going to be a draw. No, it's going to be very close. I think it's going to be a 1-point difference. This might be enough for Eternal to take the win. We'll have to wait and see. The scorecard will be the determining factor here. Keep in mind, we do have the Atom still injured, Nia fully healthy, and Dan primed and ready for the camp out once again. Even bringing out the possessed chain to try and guard the door there, though unsuccessful in being able to get a peek. We will say Atom get fully healed. Last set was very close to the 13-17 in Ruby Wolf's favor, 4 points. We will see the exit gate get opened up. EGC now at 4 minutes with it slowed down. This unhook's going to be really, really difficult for these survivors, as the Cenobite will be able to block things off pretty effectively. Nia also getting hit by the possessed chains, and we will see Chain Hunt activating as well, slowing things down. Atom with the body block. However, Nia, I don't think, is able to get the unhook. We're now going back and forth on the 2. There's the grab on the Nia. That is back-breaking for these survivors, as Nia now getting dropped on the ground. Their only saving grace is an instance of a unbreakable on this Nia. Second stage on Royalty, the Claudette. And I think we are going to be moving to set 3 based on this. This is huge for Ruby Wolves, and really making sure they are able to utilize the entirety of their, ooh, Cenobite getting a little bit aggressive there and almost paying for it with that flashlight save. Another fresh hook here, now this time on the Nia. There is the potential for a deliverance, though. The only one unhooking here has been the Atom, so no deliverance on the Nia thus far. And if they are able to camp this out, this will guarantee set 2 in Ruby Wolf's favor, pushing this match to set number 3, where we will be going to Leary's. And with the 2-man out, there it is. Ruby Wolf's doing a great job there in securing the win condition. And with that being said, we will be moving to set number 3, as Ruby Wolves will take the second set, this time on Leary's, where we are going to be seeing a Ghostface mirror match with Ruby Wolves killing first on Leary's. With that being said, we are going to take a little break. As always, before we do, want to remind everyone here today that you, yes, you the viewers, are our sponsors. So all the ads that you watch, all the bits that you tip, all the subs that you buy, and all the rogue energy that you buy using the code COTF goes to supporting Champions of the Fog, our $525 prize pool for Group A, and our $250 prize pool for Group B. With that being said, we'll be back in just a bit. All right, and we are back. And unfortunately, not with good news. Ruby Wolves will end up taking trial number 1 of set 3 via disqualification. We want to make it clear here at COTF, we do not give any leeway to any team, regardless of their status within the comp community. We recognize that choosing your build can be difficult, but not only do you have a week's notice to know what killer you will be going up against, you also have 5 minutes to get your builds in and submit screenshots respectively. With that being said, Eternal unfortunately did pass their 5-minute marker not once but twice during this match here, and though we are lenient in one trial, we will enforce our rules via disqualification once the requirements have been met, i.e. Eternal has been disqualified for trial number 1, resulting in a Ruby Wolves victory for trial number 1, 0-24. Because of this, we will not be seeing trial number 2 of set 3, as Eternal will not be able to get the 4K sweep. So, apologize for that. It is a it's an anticlimactic end to this match, but hopefully all do understand, as we do our best to enforce the rules as they are stated, and we want to respect everyone's time, not just yours as the viewer, but those of you competing in Champions of the Fog. With that being said, let this be a lesson learned to all those who are participating and interested in doing so. Please respect the 5-minute timer that we give to killers to submit your build, get the lobby open, and submit the map as well as for the survivors in joining the lobby, as well as submitting the builds with the appropriate bans within 5 minutes. So, with that being said, that there will be the end of this match. Ruby Wolves will take the victory via DQ in set number 3 against Eternal. Don't worry though, I'm sure these two teams will be duking out once again come semifinals, as the top 4 teams will be there. With that being said, I appreciate y'all being here today. Our game at 2 p.m. CST, unfortunately, did end up forfeiting as well, so we will not be having a 2 p.m. match. We will be having a 4 p.m. match, however. Whether or not be streamed, we'll let you know. We'll be going live, if so, at 4 p.m. CST. Given that this was a bit anticlimactic, I think we will be live at 4 p.m. So with that being said, definitely make sure to be here. That is now going to be 2 hours and 18 minutes from now. So set your timer, set your alarms. With that being said, thank you all for joining us today, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye!